go through a little bit. Just to clarify some things, because I feel like people ran... Well, this is the tweet if you guys have not seen it. If you guys haven't seen it, I also left a reply to it because I think people kind of misconstrued it a little bit, which is also my fault because I think that I worded it poorly. But I still agree with everything I tweeted. So the part that people were mad about was people shouldn't be nearly as upset if they didn't win it, but they did, and the crowd definitely helped. That is the part of the tweet that everybody ran with. I could have not tweeted any of this and nobody would have cared. They literally only read this part of the tweet, and like that's the only thing that anyone cared about. Which in people's defense, I shouldn't have put this in there, but I wasn't thinking the way that it would be ran with necessarily. The reason that I put that in there was because how insane the crowd actually was. And like, I think people are yelling at me. Do you guys fucking mind? No. I think people were yelling at me because they think that I am like some crazy closet Optic hater and like discrediting their win or some stupid shit. The reason that I put this part of the tweet in here is because this weekend I can say with an absolute confidence and 100% fact from at least my perspective on competing for the last 12 years of my life that this previous weekend was the best crowd that I have ever seen in Call of Duty in my life. So I put this part of the tweet in here because I'm not saying that they won because Davis was banging his fucking drums. That's not the reason they won. I put this in there because in this specific isolated incident for Call of Duty, that crowd absolutely mattered. 100%. Was it 99% of the reason they won, or was it 0.5% of the reason they won? It doesn't that is obviously to be argued, and you can never actually know the answer to it. But the reason that I put this in here was because in this specific tournament, it was the best crowd I have ever seen in my life. So I was like, in my head, bro, if I am hosting the event from like Optic's perspective, if I'm hosting the event, I am in my hometown. It's not like Optic hosting in like fucking Boston. Optic's hosting the event in their hometown. They're in finals. Like, this is the perfect storm for this crowd to be the best it's ever been. And literally the only reason that I put that in the tweet was because of how insane of an atmosphere that it was. And I think people are like using this as a way to discredit their win or think that I'm some like insane closet Optic hater or some weird shit. But obviously that is not the fucking case. Ken's my literal brother, bro. I won tournaments and champs with this guy. I had a separate tweet for Bruce. I defended Bruce publicly like 6 fucking times this year about how he's playing and the things that he's doing. Like, obviously, I'm super happy for AG, his first ring, all the criticism. And then Ant, like, I'm not super close with Ant, but like, he's the fucking GOAT. So it's like, bro, I feel like people kind of ran with this in a way that like I wasn't intending to. Which is my fault because I didn't have to put this in here. But when I did, I was only tweeting that part because of just how insane it was, bro. That was the greatest crowd I've ever seen in my life for Call of Duty. And I just thought it was like a cool thing. But like, again, I think people just took it as me saying they won because of the drums. But that is my 2 cents on it. I still stand on the rest of the tweet though, for sure. I still stand on the rest of that. I'm not changing that opinion whatsoever. I think that Optic shouldn't have hosted the event because it should have been on Activision, but they did, and it was the best event ever. So obviously, I'm going to give them their flowers for it. But like, I still think that it should be an Activision hosted event. I still think that there shouldn't be any tie to an organization for the pinnacle event of the season. That's all. I don't think it's that insane of a concept. That's it. If you disagree with me, then whatever. But I just wanted to clear this part of the tweet up because I think people kind of ran with a way that I didn't phrase this properly because it didn't seem like that big of a deal in my head because of what I just explained. But I understand that people think that I'm some weird Optic hater now. But that is not the case. There you go. I just want to clear that up because people were fucking freaking out yesterday, as you guys can tell by the engagements on the tweet. But yeah. Ghost, 5 months. Nick with a gift. Quiet, Prime for 25. Griff with a gift. That's insane. Bando Cod with the bits. Manning, Jay, Zags, Chris, TJ. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. I don't know. It is my fault for phrasing the way that I did. but I didn't think when I was literally like making the tweet,
Thank you so much.
That side of it like just wasn't a thing in my head. All I was thinking about was like how just unbelievable it was. Because like for those of you guys that weren't there, I'm not being hyperbolic at all. I don't think. Like I'm being very genuine in my assessment of the crowd. I think that was the best crowd ever. Like it beat London in 2019, which was my previous #1. I wasn't even fucking playing, bro. I was literally just sitting up there. Everything about the event was awesome. The crowd was awesome. And I think it was just like a perfect storm situation because it was an Optic hosted event. They were in finals. It was just like, I don't know, everything kind of lined up. So when I tweeted it, that's just how I was thinking about it. I wasn't saying that like fucking Hitch was banging drums and they won because of it. That's all, bro. I feel like that's not that crazy of a fucking thing, but I get it. And I'm sorry, Optic fans, if you think that I hate you. I'm sorry. I love you guys. And Kenny. But that's that. Enough about the tweet. Enough about the tweet.